Well, YouTube, it is Monday evening, almost 7 o'clock. I am just not starting this week's vlog because I have been taking it very easy. Yesterday was my do nothing day, so I did just that, absolutely nothing. Today I got up and started working on my cookies that I was supposed to ship out last week that I didn't do. And that's pretty much what I've been doing all day. Contemplated not doing a vlog at all this week, but I have been very consistent this year, and one of the YouTubers I've been following mentioned in their vlog recently that I saw. I don't remember how recent. I saw it last week, within the last week, but I think they filmed it back in May. It's consistency, and that's one thing I have been very consistent about doing this, my weekly vlog. If I haven't done any other consistent posting, I've done my weekly posting. So I said, let me just continue that because I don't know how consistent I'm going to be able to be in August, considering the surgery. So I am 30 days out as of today from the surgery. The week of the surgery, I will be doing a vlog at least from that Sunday to that Wednesday, and then I will probably wrap up the vlog as I get it going to surgery, because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to talk after surgery. If I forget to close out the vlog before going into surgery, then you know, it might just be an extended vlog, and I'll close it out when I am able to talk after surgery. And then I'll get back on a consistent schedule week 2 or week 3 after surgery. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's all I've been doing today. Milo has been whining all day to come outside. I don't know why. He thinks it's nice out here. He doesn't. I don't think he really understands that it's hot and it's cool. It feels better inside. It doesn't help that he's nosy. I don't know what them kids are yelling about, but he's nosy. He wants to go over there and see what's up with the kids. Mind you, cannot hear those kids when we're in the house. He did hear the lawnmower out here earlier. And he heard, I think he heard our new neighbor that moved in downstairs. Milo, get down. Milo, get down. Get down. Yeah, we haven't had a neighbor that lived under us since January, late January. They moved out, and finally somebody moved in down there. So I think he heard them moving around. I don't know, but I gotta go back in the house because I got a batch of cookies in the oven, and we're gonna chill out for the rest of the evening. Alright, y'all, it is, what is today? Tuesday. If you can't tell, it is Tuesday evening. I'm being nosy. It's just after 8:30. Just got home, letting this one. Look like letting their dogs out too. I ain't never seen them before. That is part of the reason why I don't take Milo back there anymore. Anyway, today was a much better day at work. Not as many crazy people, but tomorrow is going to be an interesting day. They got the execs in the building. They're not supposed to be there all day, but most of the morning. Apparently they're going to be there when I get there, so that's going to be interesting. They want us on our best behavior, as if they can't pull our calls and see how these people act and how we act with these people. They already been faking the funk for the last several weeks, been around there painting and stuff, and today they pulled a bunch, and they finally pulled some broken chairs off the floor. All I know is I'm just ready for these next 3 weeks to go by, so I could be out of there for 6 weeks. But I got a new assignment. I am going to start, while I'm off, I'm going to start writing my story about me beating diabetes and high blood pressure, as if I don't have enough books to write. I'm also going to work on finishing the self-care book and trigger points. Trigger points I haven't even started. I've started the outline. So between now and the time that I go on leave, I want to try to finish the outline for trigger points, and while I'm off, work on writing that. That's part of the reason why I haven't started writing trigger points, because I want to make sure I have an outline for it when I start writing it. But I definitely want to finish the self-care book while I'm off. And then, because I want to publish the self-care book before the end of the year, and then finish trigger points by the end of the year, publish that at the beginning of next year, and then by the end of this year, really work on my story about losing the weight and beating diabetes and high blood pressure, and publish that next year. I just been really inspired to start writing again. My cousin, shout out to Paviel, I haven't done it yet, but she has been inspiring me to start journaling. She hosted her first journaling workshop back in Chicago, down on Lakeshore, last month. And she's been posting journaling prompts on her TikTok, and I know I've seen them on TikTok. She may have, I'm sure she do like me cross post on Instagram, so shout out to her. But I'm definitely going to use that 6 weeks that I'm going to be off to get some work done. Especially since I don't have my car right now, and my car won't be back up and running until later this year. When I get back to work, I'll be eligible for some bonus money. We have the GIL program, and while I'm on restriction due to my attendance, I'm not eligible for GIL. But once shut up! Hey, Milo, stop. once I get back from leave, those restrictions will expire, and I'll be eligible for Guild again. So the classes I'm taking through Phoenix, I'll start getting paid for taking those again. And I'll be able to use that Guild money to get my car repaired. And then I'll be able to get out and start hustling again. But that's all I got for now. How you doing? Right, don't be jealous. She entitled to have company. You too. So that's kind of the plan. If I do end up staying with the company I'm currently with, if I end up getting another job with another company, you know, God is going to work it out. Because I am definitely applying, and I'm going to keep applying until somebody show me my worth. Because God knows, Lord knows it. Hey, Milo. Hey, Milo. God knows I'm worth more than $20-some an hour. $20 an hour. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go in this house and settle in. Y'all have a good one. Alright, so I'm sitting here. It's Thursday night. Nothing on TV. So I don't talk much about work. But if you are not caught up on where I work I'm back in telecommunications. Full circle. 10 years ago, I left telecommunications on the wireless side. Now I'm back in telecommunications on the internet service provider side for a different company. Lately, I've been getting some interesting phone calls. Last week, I had a caller call me and tell me, I'm going to sue you guys because my internet has been down. He said, you guys shut my internet down all day and then you turn it back on at 6 p.m. I'm going to sue you guys. That's all I need to hear. I ended the call. He wanted the terms and conditions. He wanted the service terms. So I pointed him to the website and told him, you said the magic words. Since you said you're suing the company, I can no longer talk to you. I'm ending this call right now. You know whether to get terms of service from. I have to end this call. Now hung up. Last week I had a caller tell me to shut up. The first time she told me to shut up, I told her she needs to keep the call professional. And if she was going to talk to me that way, I was going to end the call. She told me to shut up again. I didn't want her again. I ended the call. Lo and behold, she called right back and got me again. Are you the person that just hung up on me? I said, it's quite possible. Mind you, she's not authorized on the account. So when she called in, the account didn't populate. She was like, I want a supervisor. I said, you can get a supervisor, but you're not authorized on the account. But I'll get you a supervisor. And I'm going to tell them just how disrespectful you was to me. So I pulled the account up and while I was telling the supervisor how what happened and how she told me to shut up. She hung up. Then I had another call. Shut up, Milo. Yes, I'm telling you to shut up because you don't need to be making all that noise. You don't want nothing. You just want to be making noise because you know I'm recording right now. You're telling me to go lay down in the bed because you want to cuddle. I don't want to go lay down in the bed. All I do is lay in the bed. You being rude. I had a caller today call in and say, I heard that the internet is down right now because I heard there's an outage right now because of vandalism. That's how he started the call. I said, sir, I can definitely take a look at the account and see what information I can find, and be glad to give you any updates available. So, of course, we never know exactly why the internet is down in an area. So I pull up the account, I confirm for him that if there's an outage, I tell him what time it started, what time it's expected to be resolved, and ask him if he would like to provide a phone number to be notified when the outage has been cleared. He said no. Okay, I said okay, well, here's how you can verify for yourself when the outage has been cleared. Sign into your online account. When you sign in, right now you'll see a red banner. If you check back later, if that red banner is gone, that means the outage has been cleared. He said, okay. I said, is there any other questions or concerns I can answer for you? He said, no. I want more information on what's going on. I said, what information would you like? I said, I've given you all the details that I have. He said, I want to know exactly where this is at. I said, sir, there's no other details I can provide. We don't get exact addresses of where the outages occur. I said, all I can tell you is that this outage is affecting 15 nodes. Those nodes are the boxes that hang from the wires that you see going down the street. He said, I want to go see the vandalism for myself. I said, what vandalism are you referring to? Well, you told me that outage was due to vandalism. I said, I never said that. He said, yes, you did. I said, no, I never said that. He said, yes, you did. How else did I get that information? I said, I don't know how you got that information because I never said that. I said, this call has been recorded for quality and training purposes. Well, I hope it is. I said, yes, sir, it is. I said, Milo, stop messing with my printer. I said all of our calls have been recorded for quality and training purposes, and this, if need be, this call can be played back, and you'll hear that I never said that it was being recorded for quality and training purposes. I said, in fact, this outage report shows that the cause is unknown. So I don't know where you got the fact that it's been that the outage is due to vandalism, because I never said that. Yes, you did. I said, no, sir, I didn't. Then I want your supervisor. I said, absolutely. I would be glad to get a member of leadership for you. And they'll be able to provide the exact same information that I gave because this outage report does not show that it was due to vandalism. Before we even got to that point, he was like, well, imagine if you was in my shoes. If you are getting outages every day, you will want to be able to go out to the scene and see exactly what the cause of the outage is. I said, no, I wouldn't. I said, I don't care what the cause of the outage is. I just want to know that it's being fixed. I said, when there are outages at my home, I don't want to go out there and see what the cause of the outage is. I just want it to be fixed. I said, there's outages in my area all the time. I just want to know that it's being fixed. He was like, he said something slick. I was like, okay. At certain points, I began to tune him out. He's like, well, you're different than me. I was like, I absolutely am. I was like, I'm not going to bother myself with going out to scenes to see that the work is being done or what caused the outages. That's not my concern. Well, I want to, if outages are happening in my area all the time, I want to be able to go out there and see what caused the outages and that work is being done. It's like, well, good for you, but we don't provide exact addresses. When there's outages happening across the country, they never provide us with the exact addresses of where these outages occur. And we're not, even if they did, they're not going to allow us to provide you, the customer, with those addresses so you can go out to the scene. He was like, well, I want a member of leadership because I want, they're going to give me that exact address. I said, no, they're not. But I would gladly get a member of leadership, and they're going to give you the exact same information. So he escalated up to the lead, and then he got over to the lead and tried the same stuff with her. And when I was telling the lead what was going on, the lead was like, yeah, I think I talked to this guy before, and he's going to be fun to talk to. And she's like, yeah, go ahead and get him over. And when I followed up on the call, he actually ended up escalating to her supervisor, and it was interesting. So, yeah, it's been some interesting calls lately. These people are funny. And why do y'all tend to, and when I say y'all, I'm saying people, just people in general. Why, when y'all call businesses and they ask you to provide, I'm talking about national businesses. When y'all call these nationwide companies and they ask you to provide the service address, and y'all know that y'all are not getting a center, you in Texas, you getting a center in New York, and they say, can you provide the address? Why are you just giving giving the addresses if they know what city or state you're calling from? Give the full address. Give the building number, the street name, the suite number or apartment number if one is if there's one associated with it. Give the city, the state, and the zip code. Don't give me 123 Main Street, then expect me to guess the city, state, and zip code. I don't know that information. Don't just give me 123 Main Street and the zip code. If I'm going to do, we have to verify these accounts. And it's not just with my company, it's with any and every company. A complete verification requires the building number, the street name, the city, the state, and the zip code. All of that information is required. And I know I'm not the only one that says this, because I see when I'm watching TikTok and YouTube and other people in call centers talk about this. It's standard across the customer service industry. All of that information is required to complete verification. And if you work for a company that has multiple locations across a city or across the country, don't get mad at us when we tell you that the account number you gave doesn't match the address that you gave, or the address that you're giving or we need the address, the address that you're given. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. So you give us an address. Okay, so here's an example. So the lady gave an address, but the business. She couldn't tell me the business name. How you mad at me because you don't know the name of the business on the account? It's your business name. It's your business. You should be able to tell me the business name on the account that you set up. But then you want to blame it on the rep from my company, saying that rep changed the business name. Even still, you pay the bill every month. You should be looking at the bill to see what name is on that bill. And if you notice there's a discrepancy on the bill of the business name, you should be reaching out to get that updated at some point, as soon as possible. And then the guy that called today, he gave me an account number, but then the address that he tried to give me to match that account number wasn't right. And I'm like, sir, if you gave me the account number from the bill, you should be able to give me the address that's on that bill. Well, the bill I have, the address on this bill is different. How is that so? Eventually, he went through his spreadsheet and gave me the correct address, but it's like, dude, how are you giving me the account number from the bill, but the address is different? And when I'm looking at the account, the bill is being mailed to a different address, but even the address that he gave me didn't match the billing address. It's like, come on now. Make sure you have the correct information when you're calling in. I don't know how people don't have all their information correct. And then these account reps for the company I work for know that they're not supposed to call in about customers' accounts. But then they mad when I tell them that they have to hang up before I could talk to the customer about their account. And then the one I had yesterday, talking about, well, they want to escalate and talk to a supervisor. Okay, well, I'm not going to get them over to a supervisor while you're on the phone, because I can't get them over to a supervisor with you on the phone. Technically, I can't. You shouldn't even be on the phone while I'm talking to them. Once you hang up, I'll get them over to a supervisor. Well, if I hang up, then you're going to lose the caller. Okay, well, when you hang up, they can call back in, and we'll escalate them over to a supervisor. And not only that, the person that was trying to escalate to a supervisor wasn't even authorized on the account. And again, it was a person that was trying to escalate because they was in an area that was always in outages. You're escalating about something that's out of our control. It's storm season. And not only that, they was in an area that just got hit by that big storm that just hit in Texas this past weekend. So of course they affected by outages. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Oh, I don't know, but it's almost, what time is it? It's 9:30. I guess I better be get ready to take my butt to bed so I can get up and do it all over again tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday. I only got about 2.5, 3 more weeks of work before I'll be out for 6. And then y'all won't have to hear me complain for 6 whole weeks. And then hopefully when I go back, y'all won't have to hear me talk about my life on the phone much longer. Because if I stay with this company, hopefully I can transition off the phone. My long-term goal is to transition. If I'm going to stay with this company, my long-term goal is to transition into out of customer service / tech support into employee services, which is a division of human resources. That's the long game. If I'm going to stay with this company. I need to stop rubbing my eye and go ahead and take my shot. My shot arrived yesterday. It's been a month since I had my last Ajovy shot. So my shot arrived yesterday. I did take it out of the box and off ice. So it's acclimated now to room temperature, so I can go ahead and take it. With all the storms that we've been having in the area, I'm definitely feeling the pressure behind my eyes, so it's definitely time for me to go ahead and take the shot. So I'm gonna do that tonight before I go to bed. And Milo is giving me the death stare. Don't look away now. Why are you looking at me like that? He's trying to hide now because the flash is on him. He's looking like that because he hasn't had any cuddle time today. So he's telling me to go lay down because he knows it's almost time for bed. So he wants me to lay down so he can at least lay down next to me for at least a half hour before he has to go to bed. So I'm gonna get off here and go lay in my bed so he can lay down next to me for at least a half hour before I make him get in the cage. So I will talk to you guys. I'll probably check in a little bit before I go to bed. Let y'all see me administer my shot. How about that? All right, y'all. So it's good. It's time for me to go to bed. So let me go ahead and do this shot, get it over with.
We both had the surgery done around the same time. I lost the weight. She went back to her old ways. She really did. So she's the only person to make this happen. Right. We agree about that because we each have to make the choices not to be unhealthy, no matter what the excuse. Okay? Okay. That is something that is not easy, but it is something you have to do if you want to save your life. Yes, sir. So if you feel like you're ready to
Ah, shit.
what we can do to help you is give you some session do it is up to you. The person is born to
Ooh, shit.
500 calories in a diet that focuses on protein, not carbs. And I want you to start that immediately. Okay. Okay? And the instruction is will also have some exercises for you to do every day. So, how's your activity? My activities, it's okay. My back starts hurting and stuff, and I get tired sometimes. But you get up from work and do things? Yes, sir. Okay. So, what you're going to start doing?
That's how I drew blood.
Once in the morning, once in the evening.
I don't normally draw blood.
Then you should easily be able to make it.
Normally it leaves a big old welt on my skin. Ooh. As you can hear, it hurt. But hopefully I feel better in the morning. I will check in with y'all tomorrow. So it's Friday night. Week is almost over. And y'all won't believe how emotional I've been this evening. So if you follow me on any social media platform, you know that I made cookies this week because my friend did me a favor last month, and I am so grateful for her. Shout out to Nessa. If you know Nessa, you know she's been in my corner for quite some time. She really came through when I needed her, and she's always been a big supporter of mine, so to thank her. She didn't ask me to, but I decided to make her some cookies. The cookies are going in the mail on Monday. I told her it was going to go in the mail last week, but I wasn't feeling well, so I wasn't able to make them last week. So I made them this week. So I put them in the mail on Monday. Now the excess cookies that I couldn't send to her, I took to work this week. And I don't charge people for, right now I'm not charging people for cookies. So a couple people at work have been asking for me for cookies since I took them to work when we graduated from training. So I shared them with those that's been asking me for the cookies first. And then those that had heard about the cookies got them second. And then those that had never heard about the cookies got what was left. And as you know, I'm on the bus right now. And as I told y'all earlier in the week, there was like 12 different flavors. So, since I'm on the bus, I couldn't carry all these cookies at one time. So I took almost half of them yesterday. And I took everything else I was going to take today. And of course, I left some at home for myself, because I've been had a craving for some cookies myself. I'm eating it, and a piece of hot dog is stuck in my braces, and it's irritating right now. All right, there we go. So the ones I'm keeping at home for myself, they're going in the freezer. So that when I want a cookie, I can pull one out and eat it without having to make a whole batch. So what has made me emotional is that these people don't know me. They don't know what I have wanted to do since I've been here in Charlotte. But the lady that sitting next to me, before even tasting my cookie, she was like, "I will pay you for a cookie." I was like, "No, you don't have to." After she ate the cookie, she was like, "Why don't you have a website?" I was like, "I legally can't right now." She was like, "You still need to have a website." Couple other people that had cookies, she was like, they was like, "You need to have a website." Several other people came to me and was like, "Why are you not selling these cookies?" The HR director was like, "Why don't you have this as a side business?" The operations director was like, "Why are you not selling your cookies?" The couple other supervisors and people was like, "You need to be doing this as a side business." Again, these people don't know me from a can of paint. They don't know what I want to do. They don't know that this is something that I've been wanting to do since I got here in Charlotte, and I've been wanting to sell my cookies. So on the way home, it just, and I'm trying not to cry because this is what I've been wanting to do since I've been here in Charlotte. I have been wanting to sell my cookies since I've been here. When I was at the fire department, I baked cookies for cookies and Rice Krispie treats for my birthday when I first got here. Just because it was something I just wanted to do. At that point, I wasn't even sure if that's what I wanted to do. But I baked them for my birthday and shared them with my training class. And my training class was only 6 people. But it was something I just wanted to do for my birthday. I shared them with my training class and my trainers, and what was left over, I sent to dispatch, and my training class and my trainers was like, "You need to sell these." And then when I got to the floor and people thought I was the one that sent them up there, they was like, "You need to sell these." And then when I felt like it, I took some to work once we was in our OJT phase. And it was like, "You need to sell these." And then when I would be stress baking, and I would take my treats to work, it was like, "You need to be selling this stuff." And that's just something I've been wanting to do, is just sell my stuff. But I looked into the cottage laws here in Charlotte. I mean, it's in North Carolina, and I legally can't sell my stuff out of my home because I have a dog. But I love my dog, and I don't want to get rid of him, because he's been such a help to me since I got him 3 years ago. But I know that would be a great source of income for me. But I thought about how much of a help Milo would be to my niece Raylene, but he's such a big dog, and my sister can't handle him, and I don't want to see him go to a terrible home. But at the same time, I can't afford to rent I can't afford to rent a kitchen to do this. So it's been heavy on my mind to do this, but I also don't want to do it by breaking the law and still selling it out of my house. So I don't know what to do. But it was just such a blessing to hear everybody saying that today, that I need to be doing this. And it's, at the same time, it's confirmation that that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But at the same time, I don't know how to do it without doing it illegally, because I can't afford to do it the right way. I don't know. And at the same time, all week I've been hearing the song that we used to sing at Christian Faith, just in my spirit. And as the tears was rolling down my face today on the way home, the song just kept playing in my spirit again, over and over again. When he sees me, he sees his righteousness. He sees the Holy Spirit filling up the emptiness. When he sees me, he sees the blood he shed. I'm glad he sees himself each time he looks at me. And I don't necessarily know how that song correlates with what everybody else was saying about about the cookies, but at the same time, I feel like the two go together. But several people have told me to still just go ahead and sell my cookies. I don't know. But I don't want to keep sitting up here crying because I don't want my head to start hurting. Because I can't afford to miss work tomorrow. But I just wanted to share that with y'all tonight. But it's almost 10 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for tonight. And I'll come back and close out the video tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, so I didn't have a whole lot to say to close out this week's vlog. So I've been procrastinating on doing so. But I'll share with y'all what happened to me on my way home. So I shared this on my Instagram and on my social media yesterday, but usually what I do is either before I leave home or when I first get to work, almost every day, I'll take a Tylenol Arthritis just to kind of get in front of any migraine symptoms I might get while working. And I also will rub my head down, or yesterday I rubbed my shoulders down in peppermint oil just to help with the pain symptoms I might have throughout the day. And yesterday my shoulders was really bothering me really bad, so that's why I rubbed my shoulders and neck down. But I did this like literally right before I got on the phone. I rubbed my left shoulder down, and then as I began to take my first couple phone calls, I rubbed my right shoulder down. But I got so into the phone call that I forgot that I did not screw the cap back on the peppermint oil. And the peppermint oil I have has this eye droplet. So I end up putting a full droplet in my hand and just put the droplet back in the bottle, and then just going on about my morning. And as at some point throughout the day, I put the bottle back in my bag, not realizing that I never screwed the cap back on it. So on my way home, I just noticed that I'm really smelling the smell of peppermint oil. I'm thinking that it's, mind you, throughout the day, the smell of peppermint oil had kind of dulled, but as I'm coming home, it kind of intensified. I'm thinking that because I'm starting to sweat more, that the smell has intensified again. But I get all the way home and I take my bag off and I realize that there's oil down the side of my book bag. And I'm like, oh my God. So I reach in my bag. I'm thinking that the bottle had broke, but I reached inside my bag, pulled the bottle out, and the cap on the bottle is loose. Now I'm thinking I spilled the whole bottle of oil. It was still upright. So I hadn't spilled the whole bottle, but I spilled like at least a good quarter of the bottle. I'm like, oh my God. So not only is my bag covered in oil, I'm thinking the shirt and my jeans are covered in oil, and they wasn't, but I'm like, my simple self then put this bottle back in the bag, didn't put the cap on. I'm like, wow. So that's my interesting take on what happened yesterday. But the oil that did spill, I can tell that it did get on my clothes because it did get down my back. My lower back was bothering me yesterday, so it did help with the pain I was feeling in my lower back. My bag don't be heavy, but just from walking, if you remember from earlier in the year, I shared that when the chiropractor did the x-ray, they found that my lower back had been out of alignment for 7 years. So I do tend to have some lower back pain quite often still from that. So it did help with the pain I may be having. So I was grateful that I didn't have to rub myself down in oil because it spilled on me. But just wanted to share that. So this week's vlog wasn't all that interesting, but I'm glad that I did have a few interesting points to share with you guys from the week. This coming week we're going to have my pre-op appointment, so I will try to share as much of that with you guys as I can as we lead into me going into surgery. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Hey, before I go, I know I talked to you guys a couple months ago about my newsletter. I want to remind you to go ahead and click the link down below to sign up so that you can subscribe to the newsletter. It will be dropping in a few weeks here, so I want to make sure that you guys are signed up so you can be the first to get the first newsletter that will be coming out. The goal is to have it out come July 1st, starting with affirmations on July 1st and followed up with the actual monthly newsletter sometime in July. So definitely go ahead and click that link down below so you can be a part of the first rollout. Thanks in advance for being a subscriber.